I'm sitting here today with my very first good counselor. I think I had been to maybe 3 kind of crazy counselors before I got lucky and found Lynn. And at the time, back it was 95.
Sounds right.
And so at the time, I had a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old, and I was 27 years old. Lynn was the very first counselor to just really start helping me. And when I first started seeing you, I was in pretty rough shape. My whole world was falling apart. And I specifically remember our very first meeting, and I remember a lot of details about that. One of them was I was having all the symptoms of panic attacks, but I didn't know that they were called panic attacks. And then you told me, oh, you're having panic attacks. And then I remember telling you that I just want to sit down one day and not do anything and feel good about myself, because I was an overachiever. I had to be the perfect mom and the perfect wife, which I wasn't the perfect anything. But at the time I was, I had to control everything. So you helped me through. I remember you saying, I was on a sliding scale and it was $10. And I said, I can't afford that. And then you said, yes, you can afford that. And then you said, this will help your kids and your husband, your family. And I said, what do they have to do with this? So those are the things I remember. Do you remember any of it?
It was so long ago, and I am so old that I can't remember 15 minutes ago, let alone decades ago.
Yes.
Not specifically, no. I remember you were very fragile, just kind of scared of everything. Mm-hmm. Especially remember you being afraid to drive a car. And now you drive all over the place. And it just blows my mind how you dressed. And I'm very, very proud of you. I think you've done just wonderfully.
Thank you.
Lots of guts now, lots of courage you didn't have before. You were so, just kind of a scaredy cat of everything. And I'm so impressed with everything you've done.
Thank you.
And proud to have helped you achieve all that you've achieved.
You were like the mother I never had. The person that I could tell all my secrets to, the very first person that I could just, dump everything. The reason why I feel like people benefit from having a good counselor is you get to go in there every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, and you just dump the shit on them. That's what you're paying them for. Then you would always help me. I always felt better leaving than I did waiting in the waiting room.
Right.
So I'd always try to time it just right.
Yeah.
So as soon as I walked in the door, you would come out and say, okay, come on back. Because of my panic attacks, it was terrible.
Yeah.
Because I'd work on stuff during the week, my journaling and everything, and I'd review it before I went in. And so it was right at the surface. All the anxiety was right there with all of the emotions and stuff. But you, I would say 90% of the time you knew just the exact right thing to say to me.
And just what?
The exact right thing to say to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would make me, oh yeah, that's what that is. What was your background for counseling? Like, what kind of degree did you have?
I have a master's degree in mental health counseling from Oakland University, and I studied psychology at Michigan State University. And the reason I got into the group therapy was there was a movie coming out, and I can't remember, but it was about a little girl, young girl, had been sexually molested by a relative. Where I worked, manager asked if anybody would be willing to do a group counseling for victims of sexual abuse. And because I had been lucky enough to go with one of my teachers to a Parents Anonymous group meeting, and Parents Anonymous, I don't think it's going anymore, but it was wonderful. It was for parents who were abusive towards their children, and they wanted to stop this behavior and wanted help. So because I had that in my background, the boss, so to speak, at the clinic, when he asked for a volunteer, he was looking right at me. And so I said, I don't know, okay. And that's how I got started with the group therapy for people who had been abused as children.
Was that at the facility where I met you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Crisis Counseling Center,
oh,
it was called.
I didn't remember that name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Filling in the blanks. I was in that group, and the overall view is that I learned a lot from that. I think the number one benefit for me for the group was to connect with other abuse survivors and to talk.
I'm sure that's true.
Because all those years you cannot talk. So it's like, I don't know, for the first time in your life, you're just like, blah, 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 blah. You know, I couldn't talk enough.
Right.
So,
Right. Well, I would guess that having other people who've been in the same boat,
yes.
that it's easier
Yes.
to talk about it because no one's going to go, oh my God, you know, how shocking.
Right.
Because they've been there.
Nobody's going to judge you.
So a lot of empathy, sympathy, understanding.
Yeah.
Understood each other.
Yeah. You can have this empathy that a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
You know, where we've been. And so my other question is, I was with you for 8.5 years, and then we moved to Florida, and then we were only there 11 months, and then I moved to North Carolina. And I was always in search of the next Lynn. Yes, I was heartbroken. But our financial, just our life changed, and for our family, and we had to move. So anyway, but I was grateful because it gave me an opportunity to meet many other counselors. And a lot of them, well, most of them didn't work out, but a few of them had pieces of the puzzle for me that were amazing. I mean, they were just like a main gem of wisdom. And I was like, oh my gosh, I needed to see that.
That's an interesting point because a teacher or counselor is coming from their own style.
Right, perspective.
And someone else
Yes.
could be talking about the same thing, but in a different way.
Right.
So it can resonate with the client.
Right.
Excuse me, that's it. Cold left over.
So the one thing that I noticed, though, is that by seeing all these different counselors, the ones that had a degree in, is it sociology?
There are social
work
workers,
degree, yeah.
counselors, psychologists.
Yeah. So I didn't think they were nearly as helpful as you having a counseling degree. My two favorites out of over exactly 20 counselors that I'd seen over all these years, both you and this other man had counseling degrees. So I found them to be most helpful, but I wanted your input on what you thought about that.
Well, I'm glad you, excuse me, asked that question, because I am very proud of the counseling degree. And I believe that counseling, we not only study the psychology of how people come to where they're at, but learn techniques. Literally, I mean, that's part of the whole curriculum of how to help them move beyond a stuck point. And we were exposed to a lot of different famous counselors with their own, what you call it, their own
Strategies?
their own, not style, but theories.
Yes.
Their own theories.
Yeah.
And so we, as a counselor, we were able to pick what would work really well for us.
Okay.
Like I couldn't maybe do hypnosis.
Right.
But I could incorporate some of the Gestalt, excuse me, techniques, and a lot of others. One in particular was unconditional regard that I think is very important for clients, and kind of what you talked about earlier about being able to open up. That counseling, strong emphasis at Oakland University, where I got my degree, on regard. And the other degrees or the other slants, I'm definitely not putting them down because they're extremely valuable.
Right.
And again, I like that idea of having more than one counselor because you get a different slant,
Right.
a different approach,
Right.
which I remember I used to teach horseback riding. And one of the other coaches would say, I've been telling this rider over and over and over again to do thus. And then someone else comes along, says the very same thing, but in different words.
Right.
And it's, oh, holy cow. So, but that's just human nature. That's
Right.
just the way we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like two thought leaders can have the same messages, but whether we connect with this person or that person is
Right.
what makes the difference, and whether we're going to hear the message.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but I was grateful that I had. I know I was heartbroken to leave you, but I was grateful that I did get this wide range of input from other
I think that's a very good thing.
from other therapists. It just worked out. And I do believe in synchronicity, and I feel like the universe had a plan for me, and so that I would
I believe that.
get my lessons from this person and
believe
that
that.
person.
Because you've come up with this wonderful, amazing program
Yes.
for trauma victims.
Yeah.
And I'm just so impressed. And it's a wonderful program. And, you know, that old expression, you take lemons and make lemonade.
Yes.
And you have put together a program that is not only intellectual, but from what you experienced,
Right.
what it was like for you and what worked.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very popular system to follow because it's really excellent. Really is.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for reading it. You read it last June.
You know, I was so
January.
impressed. It's I think it's going to become very popular and kind of a
Stand.
yes, because everything you mentioned, all of it is important, and there's a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, and it all comes together
All ties
beautifully.
together. And I learned more stuff when I was writing it, but I also can see where it would have been extremely helpful if I would have had that
Yes,
when I was.
that guidance.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. It would have been, I think I would have gotten through it quicker if I would have if I would have understood how the brain works and how the, and just that, all the symptoms.
Therapist needs to understand.
Yes, that's
So
true.
that the therapist can lead the client
Yes.
into exploring different avenues.
Yes.
that
Yeah, it's a
could be
good
helpful.
tool for even therapists to go through.
Mhm.
So who knows where it's going to go, but this is the beginning.